Greetings, insects. Welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This will be episode 3 of my playthrough of Voyage of the B.S.M. Pandora. And this, we're continuing our exploration of the planet Piccolo. In the last episode, as you could not normally in these sort of TV shows, don't they? They have in the previous episode we landed on the planet. We explored the hex that we landed in. We encountered a tortoise-like creature that scuttled away. We didn't quite find it again. Then we moved a little bit further onto the planet because we're heading towards this um, mountain range, which had an alien structure on the top. As we were progressing along, we came across a scorpion-like creature leapt out on us, and fortunately, we had our scanner on us, so we weren't surprised. Aaron and Riker jumped out of the rover, moved to engage the creature. However, it moved so fast, it just went up, it escaped. We couldn't catch it, couldn't see it, find it again. So, slightly perturbed, we moved on, found not much anywhere else, sort of into the hills and so on. But once we got to the alien structure, we determined that it actually wasn't a structure, it was actually an alien creature of gargantuan size. We had the choice of flee or fight. It didn't want to. There didn't seem to be any way to communicate with it. Aaron, being Aaron, she leapt into the fight, took out the turbo laser, and basically lobotomized the creature, cut out part of its brain, keeping enough for it to maintain the dome of artificial gravity and atmosphere to keep the temperature going as it is. And then we've now got that onto the ship. I then discovered that it was actually worth quite a few victory points of doing so, but I've still got to get to the Pandora. And we're now going to continue exploring the planet because we've still got a fair few supplies and we haven't actually consumed anything as yet. So that'll probably be one of the things we do next. God, that was a brief synopsis, wasn't it? Anyway, if you could do the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, and comments would be all appreciated. But we're going to go down now to the map and continue the Cola expedition. So anyone watched the first video, I tried to use some ambient sound to give it a little bit more depth and such forth. It made my voice a little bit. So I couldn't re-record. I could have re-recorded the whole thing again, but I didn't. But I didn't put any ambient sound in episode 2, and I'm not going to do that from now on. I might do it after it's recorded and then see if I can implement it onwards because yeah, just a little bit of sound just creates that atmosphere, doesn't it? Anyway, so we're over here in the rover. In the rover, we have all these people. So we have Riker, who is the ground survey officer, and we have Aaron Sun, who's the weapons officer. We have a combat bot. We have an E-cage in case we can actually capture one of these bloody beasties. A holographer, a net gun, a scanner, which stopped us being surprised, and the turbo laser. Absolutely. Best weapon out there. Other than, well, yeah, it is the best weapon if I want to kill something. Right. So the options, I go back where I come from in the mission, but yeah, that's not really that exciting, is it? Let's currently. Oh, I think we're going to do a circle route, yeah, I can't pronounce it, sorry. Circuitous, no, still can't do it. Okay, we're gonna go in a circle. Does that make sense? I'm gonna go through this hex. I also want to explore this one because it's got the crags there, so I don't know if that will add a little bit more. Maybe there's something in the crags. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to explore each one of these hexes rather than just use hasty movement, unless something takes a considerable amount of time and I start feel hungry and lack of supplies and so forth. So, without any furthers, let's move the rover, well, not the explore token, into here. Now, let's bring up the charts. We are doing so over the terrain. So how long does that actually take? So we're going into mountains and so we're entering it with a rover. So that's 2. And it's got flatland in there. So it's 2.5. we're also exploring the mountains. Add another 5, so it's 5, 6, 7.5, and exploring 8, 9.5. So it's 9.5 hours. So it rounds up to 10. Well, we had a half hour carryover from last time. I don't know if I meant to round up or down. Not going to check the rules for it. I had a half over last time, so it's going to be 9.5. So it's going to be 9 hours. Okay. So I look here, my expedition time in hours is 9. So it's 1, 2, 3. Then I go right back and I'll explain what happens in a minute. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's me 9 hours. Now, because I passed that point there, we now have to do or bring in the supply rules and see how much supply is consumed. Okay, I must admit, I found the supply rules probably the hardest rules of the game to get my head around. Okay, because certain things cost different amounts. So it says each character is a double supply user. Okay, so in here I've got two guys, and we've got one guy here. So that's 3 supply, and they're doubled, so that's 6. It says each tool with a supply symbol is a single supply user. So none of those that are on the shuttle are supply. They haven't got the supply symbol, the old SPI supply symbol, that little circle with a dot. Whereas the rover is 2, and the scanner is 1, and the turbo laser is 1. It's got the little supply symbol above the actual numbers. So that's 4. Okay, and it says also a bot is a supply user. So so each bot is a single supply user. So we've got 6 for the crew, plus 1 for the bot is 7, plus 2 for the rover, 8, 9, and plus another 2 for the scanner and turbo laser, 10, 11. So we've got 11. When a supply check is required, the player determines the supply user total by counting each character in the environ twice. Okay, so those 2 in the environment, we're going to add. So they actually count 2 times 2. So let's just go through that again. So Riker and Aaron are double supply users, but because they're outside the ship, they're doubled again. So there were 2, which becomes 4 for each character. So that's 8 for just them. The rover 9, 10, and the scanner 11, the turbo laser 12. Then Scorpius on the ship, on the shuttle, adds 2, 13, 14. The bot 15, and then nothing else. So our supply is at 15. Whew. Okay, so the next part, it says when a supply check is required, the result of a single die roll is applied to both the following 2 calculations. Determine the total number of supply points expended. Okay, so the supply user total is divided by the die number. So I've got 15 to arrive at a result rounded down. A number of supply points equal to this result is expended. Okay, but no more than 4 supply points. So let's see. I want a high number here. Can't see that, can you? Because it bounced all the way back. It was 3. So that's 15 divided by 3, but the maximum is 4. So I've just consumed 4 supply from, well, it's 4 supply at the present moment. So I'm going to put that nice little number just as a reminder there. All right. So that's the first calculation. The second one, the life support value of the planet is added to all the terrain supply modifiers in the hex that the expedition occupies. Okay, so the life support is 3, and we are in mountain, which is +2, and flat, so it's +3. So let's just read that again. The life support value of the planet, so that's 3, is added to all the terrain supply modifiers in the hex, that's another 3, is 6. If the sum is positive, which it is divided by the die number, which was, it was 3, was divided by the die number, and the result is rounded down to determine the number of additional supply points expended. So the die number was 3. I should have kept that there, shouldn't I? Boom. There we go. The die number is 3. and the total is 6. So it's divided by that 6 divided by 3, because it's a positive. There's an extra 2 supply points added. So total supply consumed is 6. Okay. The expenditure of supply points is recorded by moving the expedition and or shuttle supply markers the appropriate number of spaces. The shuttle supply mark may be moved a number of spaces per supply check less than or equal to the number of characters in the shuttle only. So I've got 6 supply to be consumed. The amount of supply I've got is expedition supply is 11, oh, sorry, 13, and still on the shuttle, I should have actually knocked that down because I put 13, 30 take away 13. Yeah, 17 supply on the shuttle. So 1, as it said there, but less than or equal to the number of characters in the shuttle only. All other supply expenditure must be satisfied by moving the expedition supply marker. When supply points for expedition are exhausted, the required expenditure of supply must be satisfied by endurance, the characters. So we've got 5 to take from the expedition supply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it still leaves us 8. So the maximum we can lose is 8 per supply check phase. So we know that we can still do at least, because remember it's going every 30 hours. So we're on 6. We've got 24 hours before we have to do another supply check, another day effectively. Oh, no, we're talking Earth terms. We're not sure how long the day is on this planet. That's a good point. I haven't asked us to determine that, but okay. We've got 24 hours worth of supply before we have to do another supply check, and the maximum we'll lose is 8. So we're okay. We're not going to start eating our own stomachs before the end of this mission. So anyway, we had to do a supply check. We got into this particular hex. So now we determine what is actually in that hex. So we bring up the exploration matrix again. Again, just to double check there is no additional modifier, so it's a straight. Remember, the red is the first die, the white is the second. Okay, 1, 4. So we go to paragraph 157. So just put that up there. Okay, bring down the paragraphs. Find 157. There she is. Right, okay. So do any of these apply? An alien cities, but no. Or was it no? A glacial ice hex has been explored. No. Or is it no? A light vegetation, or was entered? No. The geology of the active planet of the planet is active. It's not. It was inactive. So none of those apply. So we found nothing in that particular hex I mean, it was obviously stuff of interest. Oh, look at that. It's a beautiful mountain range. Okay. So I need to put a explored marker on that hex. And we'll continue. Now, I wanted to go into this hex here because that is cliffs. Does that add significantly to the time? Charts and tables. Okay, no, it doesn't, because we're going by the rover. So again, if we look at the charts and the terrain, we've got a cliff somewhere on there. It's got a little 5A entered by rover right now. Because this hex is not hex side is not the cliff, that doesn't have an effect though. If the expedition has a climb kit, a mountain hex costs 2 and a cliff hex costs 3, no effect on rover movement and exploration. So I couldn't climb from this hex to this hex over the cliff. I could have walked it because I have a climb kit, but we can go by the rover in this way. So let's go in. That's going to be my move. And then we've got to work out how long that actual move took. And I've lost the actual paragraph, the linking charts and tables, haven't I? Where are they? Oh, blimey. Right, so that has got, so we entered by a rover and it's on the mountain, so it's cost 2. There is clear in the hex, so it's another flat, so it's another 2.5. Okay, we are exploring the mountains. So it's 2.5 plus 5. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the actual cliff itself, I can't seem to find another 8. That's 18 hours. Oh, so they're obviously lowering themselves, using winches from the rover to go down, see if there's anything in the cliffs that is worth exploring. So it's a total of 18 hours of that 24. That's only chewed up the amount of time, didn't it? Okay, so roll 6 plus 18 is 24. Okay. Right, let's see if we actually found anything whilst we're doing all this winching and up and down and so on. So that we now need to bring up not the encounter, exploration matrix. None of those, again, no modifiers, so it's a straight roll. And it's a 4-2. That's paragraph 120. Okay, let's type that on there. Obviously, it says something about cliffs. Otherwise, it would have been a considerable waste of time. All right, let's see what it says. And then, no, a cave hex is being explored. It's not a cave hex. A flat or hill hex is being explored. The gravity is Earth-like and the climate is not. None of these apply. So we found diddly squat, even though we spent all that time going through those cliffs. But there we go. That happens when you explore. Sometimes you don't actually find anything. Right, okay, so this will be the first time we use what's called hasty movement. Because we've already explored this hex and I want to go here into that hills. So we're going moving more than one hex. So we'll be going there and then to there. So to do hasty movement, let me show you what the terrain. All right. We got to get to there, first of all, via hasty movement. Let me just double check the rules. Okay, so to move, just to double check the rules there, from this, that's right, I was starting the log file, to move from this hex, then this hex to this hex is called hasty movement, and I can't do exploration in this hex. It'll be a separate thing to explore that hex. So the actual move from there to there will be as follows. So it's on mountains, all right, entered by rover is 2. So from there to there is 2. And I hate it when it just makes things disappear and then it's gone. And then I've got to actually click, why they can't just stay on the chart is the one annoying thing. Well, there's a few annoying things about Vassal, but I mean, it does allow me to save games. So stop whinging. Stop whinging. Okay. So going through that again. So it's mountains from that hex to that hex. And then from that hex to that hex, I'm entering hills. Okay. So that's another. So it takes 3 hours to go from there to there to there. So I'll just add those 3 hours. 1, 2, 3 to there. Okay. And then I still got to now resolve a encounter or yeah, see something happens during that hasty movement. So I've still got to use not that one, the exploration matrix to see if it comes up with something that happened during hasty movement. So 1-1, I had that one before, 53. Let me just go 0, 5, 3. Right, okay, let's bring that paragraph up. Oh, 53, okay. So, expedition encounter. So notice it says the word explored, always it. All right, so always enter during hasty. So a cliff or abyss hex is being explored, always enter during hasty movement. No. And a structure is being explored, always enter during hasty movement. No. A flat hex is being explored or was entered during hasty movement. And the climate is Saharan. And no, the gravity is oppressive and the climate is tropical. No, none of those apply. So therefore, that hasty movement, well, okay. So the next thing I want to do, well, is actually explore that hex. So to explore that hex, that is hills and flat. I bring up that terrain chart again. Hills and flat. So hill explore is 3 and flat is 2, so that's 5 hours. That's 5 hours. All right, so that'll be 1, 2, 3. And then we go all the way back up to the top again. 4, 5. Thanks to that caves that we found bugger all in, because we've gone back over that 30, we now need to do a supply check. So we know that our supply level, whatever the word they want to use, is 15. So we now do roll the dice to see if that's going to be right. So 15 divided by 6 rounded down is 3. So we're using 3 supply. So I'll put that there. And then we look at the terrain we're in, which is mountain, which is +2, plus, was it mountain or was it hill? That's hill and flat. Hill and flat is +2 rather than plus, right? So it's still a plus. And then, which way? We rolled a 6. That was good. The value was, plus the, you see, good forgetting. So the life support for the area is 3, +2 is 5. 6 divided by 5, or is it 5 divided by 6? The hex container, I think this is going to be nothing. The life support value of the planet is added to all the terrain supply modifiers, so it's 5 in the hex that the expedition operates. This sum is a positive. It is divided by the die number, and the result is rounded down to determine the number of additional. So 5 divided by 6 is 0., which means it's less than 1, so therefore no additional supply. So total supply cost this time is 3. Okay, 1, 2. I can take 2 from there and 1 from the supply shuttle. Boom. Okay, so we've still got sort of enough. Yeah. Okay. And now we can explore that hex. So what can we do now? Yeah, we can explore that hex. So we go through the exploration matrix again. And we get 3.2. 3.2 is paragraph 78. Let's go to paragraph 78. Right. An alien structure, no, a flat hex. It's got flat, and the climate is tropical, which it is. You take the first one in case anything else applies, but it's definitely a flat hex. It's been explored, and the climate is tropical. Okay, so that's 009. Right, so let's go to paragraph 009. Where are you? There we go. Right. Oh dear. The expedition discovers. We found another one of those tortoise-like creatures. Choose an encounter strategy. Well, last time it ran away, and there seems to be a thing about communicating with it. So I'm going to try and communicate with it. Choose an encounter strategy. Don't run away, little one. Okay. So let's bring back that counter, which is, and that's down here, isn't it? There he is, the fastitomite. Okay. So we need to go now to the encounter strategy. We're going to try and communicate. So when direct user to choose one of the following strategies, right? If communication is chosen, add the creature's intelligence modifier and subtract the absolute value of its aggression modifier. Okay. So that means we have to work out is that we already have its aggression modifier. I'm sure we do. Hold on a second. We do. Its aggression modifier is 3. So because because the absolute value means that if we hadn't determined that, we'd have to determine what its aggression modifier is. So if communication is chosen, add the creature's intelligence modifier, which is 1, and subtract the absolute value of its aggression modifier, which is 3. So it's a net -2 on the communications there. Roll 1 die and subtract 2. Okay, so it's -1. Then we go to paragraph 10. Let's go 0, 1, 0. Okay. Creature infuriated by communication attempts. Determine its aggression rating. All right, so we try to chat with it. So again, if we'd have got a 2 result, 0.16, that little star going back on that paragraph would have meant we'd have gone through what's going through this communicate here. We didn't get that. All right, it didn't understand it. It's actually infuriated by communication attempts. Right. Determine its aggression rating. We know its aggression rating is 3. If the aggression rating is 4 or less, determine the creature's speed. Okay, so we now get to determine other stuff about the creature. Determine the creature's speed. All right. It's a 3, but I think that was a -3. I put that counter away. Oh, okay. Well, it's a tortoise type thing. It has got a speed modifier of -3. So that means if we bring this little table up here, creature rating, we've got to determine. Roll 2 dice and add the modifier. So it's -3. Right, 8 it becomes a 5. I've got 5. So its speed is 3. So I add that to my little chart for speed. So it's got a speed of 3 and aggression of 3. Okay. Now going back on that paragraph, right. The aggression rating is 4 or less, which it was. Determine the creature's speed rating, just down, it's 3. If this rating is higher than the single highest speed rating among the members of the expedition, the creature flees. It's not. We're faster than this. Choose another expedition. If the creature's speed rating is equal to or less than the highest speed rating of the expedition, conduct combat or choose an expedition action. So in other words, we can let it go or we can conduct combat. We're going to conduct combat on it. What we want to do is try and capture it. So we need to do a conduct combat, yes. So we go to the combat, creature combat. Now, this is the first time we've done this, isn't it? So, because we roll for that, so I have choice of capture or kill. I want to capture it. So let's see what. Yes, Aaron, we want to capture it. This is Riker speaking. Okay. I want to shoot things. Right. So we're going to use the net gun on it because Riker is insisting. Okay. And we have got the robot. So we add, now I need to double check how actual combat works. This is the first time we've actually done a proper combat. Okay, so there's a set procedure I've got to go through to determine what the combat rating is. So when a paragraph requires the player to conduct combat, he conducts it in the following steps. If not already declared, choose whether the expedition will attempt to capture or kill the creature. I'm attempting to capture. Calculate the total combat rating of the expedition using the capture or kill combat rating of each eligible unit in the expedition. So we're going to be using this bot. It's got a capture. Which one's first? The capture, I think it's first, but it doesn't. Capture combat is first. So we've got a capture rating of 7. Then we've got me 2 guys, so we could add those, but or they can each have a tool. Okay, Aaron, you can use a turbo laser using the 4 value from it to steer it into the actual net, which we're going to use. Yeah, the net gun. Okay. So Riker's got the net gun and Erin's got the turbo laser and she's trying to scuttle this creature into the net. So we don't use their printed value, so we use the weapons value. So that's 9 plus 7 is 16. So my combat value is 16. Let me actually just type that in there to remember. Right, okay. Determine the combat rating of the creature. All right, so now I'm finding out more information about the creature. And its combat value is the... Going through the rules. Intelligence combat modifier is the second number, which in this case is 1. Yeah, it's not a -1, it's just 1. So again, I go on to on here to find out what its combat rating is. So it adds 1 to this. Okay, 4 becomes a 5. It's got a combat rating of 3 as well. So this is pretty. Combat is 3, aggression is 3, speed is 3. One thing we don't know is its intelligence. Its intelligence. Okay. So far now. So we've done that. Determine the combat rating of the creature. All right, subtract the creature combat rating from the expedition's total combat rating to determine the combat differential. So we have got 16 and we're subtracting 3, which takes that to 13. So now we go to the combat results table. So we're on 11 or more, the differential. Okay. Roll 1 die, cross-reference the die result with a proper differential. Column to yield. Any column shift to the right beyond +11 or to the left are ignored. Okay, so we need to roll. And again, low is good. Can't see that, can you? Not great. So we got a B. Creature is killed. No, or creature is captured. All right, so we declare captured. We took 4 damage points to capture it. Okay, so that's fair enough. So it's captured. Therefore, we can put it, so let's put that down there, inside the E-cage. Now, on here, I think, can I change? So set combat. Yeah, I see. I can change the values on this to 3. Set aggression. No, it was 3 as well, wasn't it? And then set, I do like this, set its speed to 3. Okay, cool. And then we put it inside the cage. It doesn't line up exactly, but all right, so let's put those together in the cage. There we go. Now we've got to take 4 damage points. Okay, let's see that damage. The player may use any combination of endurance point loss and expedition supply point loss to fulfill the incurred damage point results. Shuttle supply points and endurance points belong to units not involved in the combat may not be, obviously. 1 damage point equals 1 endurance point or 2 supply points. An endurance point is removed from a character by placing it. Yeah, okay. An endurance point is removed from a tool or bot by flipping its counter over to the damage side and placing a slash through 1 box with that unit type. So we could damage the bot. Okay. An endurance point is removed from a tool or bot by flipping its counter over. And placing a slash through 1 box with that unit type on the log. Okay, exception damage to a character. So right, okay. Well, I'll have to read this in detail. Hold on there. Okay, so effectively I've got 4 damage points. I'm taking 1 on the spec bot, so it's now damaged. And Aaron takes 1 damage point, and Riker takes 1 damage point. So that's a total of 3 points. And then I'm going to use up 2 supplies from the expedition to show that 2 supplies equals 1 damage point. Okay, so that's be 4 damage points, and there's the rover sitting there now. Okay, so that was quite successful. We've now captured the creature that we've originally encountered earlier in the mission. However, the expedition is starting to run a little bit low on supplies. So the question is, do we want to explore further, or do we think we should get back to the shuttle? We have got 4 supplies. Don't want to start taking endurance. We got a little bit scraped up with that fight with the tortoise. Okay, must have been that big fucking tortoise. That's all I can say. So the question is, do we continue or do we head back to the shuttle? I think we're going to head back to the shuttle. I don't want to start taking endurance from having a lack of supplies, especially if we make a really poor supply, because we could lose 8 supply. We've only got 4, so that is a bit risky. Um, where are we time-wise? However, we have got time. We've still got 28 hours before we have to check again. 28 hours. Well, the only terrain we haven't explored is wood. So let's do that then. So let's do a hasty movement from here into here. So I have to put an explored marker in there. So we explored it. And we're going to do hasty movement to that wood. Okay. All right. You talked me into it. Talked me into it. All right. So the terrain that we've done for the hasty movement, so it's clear, but it's flat, is half, and this is also flat. So it's total of 1. Then it also consists of light vegetation. No additional. Interesting. Okay. So it takes us an hour to get there. Oh, yeah. 1 hour. However, we've got to do a hasty exploration. I better do the hour or I forget. There we go. Time is an hour. Right. Then we've got to do the paragraph, haven't we? Determine what we encountered in, or no, not that one, the exploration matrix. There we go. So the 5, 6. Yeah, that's paragraph 200. Okay. See the very high number? Come on. Up you come. Right. No, an underwater or abyss is being explored. A light vegetation hex is being explored, and the atmosphere is thin and all. No, none of those plays because none of this has hasty movement involved there. So we encountered nothing moving to the woods. We'll now explore the woods, that particular hex as well. Okay, so going back on the terrain now, as an exploration, we have got light vegetation is 2 hours and flat is another 2 hours, so it's 4 hours to explore that hex. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we just roll on that matrix again. And we can exploration matrix and see if we can find something now. 64, 6 and 4, 174. Okay. Let's bring that paragraph up. There it is. All right. Now that's interesting. Okay. That says 074. 174's there. So let's see. What does 074 say? An alien structure. 174. Okay. Good job. I've got the actual paragraph written here. Paragraph events 174. 174. Okay. Expedition encounter. An alien city is being explored? No. A vegetation haze is being explored and the climate is tropical? Yes. 048. Okay. So this wasn't relevant for that paragraph. There's an error in the module, but we now go to paragraph. Put that down. It should be 48. Right. The expedition discovers a butterfly-like creature nibbling on foliage. Its wings have a span of over 10 inches and are strengthened by bird-like bone structure. Choose an encounter strategy. Do you think there's much chance of chatting to I want to capture it. Yeah, to try and capture it. So it's classed as a combat. So choose an encounter strategy. So we go to encounter strategy. We try and capture or kill. We haven't got, so choose one of the following strategies, roll 1 dice. If we're not choosing communications, capture or kill should add the creature's intelligence and aggression modifiers. Okay, so it's given us a number of 48 in the encounter there. So there must be a creature which is numbered 48. There it is. I'll put that on the map and flip it. Oh, there we go. It's called a orny fly. An orny fly. All right. And an orny fly. Okay, it's got a little dot there. All right, I need to find the actual counter. Okay, I've just remembered. I only actually have one cage with me. Yeah, I don't have another E cage. I left them on the board of the ship. Ugh. Okay, so I will then. I'm going to have to revise that and change that to communicate rather than capture it. See if we can actually. Yeah, we can chat to it, but who knows? Stranger things happen at sea. So let's put that down there. Where's my charts? Right. So we're trying to communicate with it then. And so, right, if communication should add the creature's intelligence modifier, which is -2, and subtract the absolute value of its aggression modifier. Its aggression modifier is -2, but it says absolute value. So we do determine its aggression before we actually make this roll. Okay. Oh, that's the roll. The creature. So it's got a -2. Its aggression, roll 2 dice. Bloody hell. It's an aggressive pipeline there. Right, so it's rolled an 11. It's got -2, so it's 9. So it's got an aggression rating of 7. Wow. This is one aggressive butch butterfly. Okay. Aggression of 7. And it's called an ornifly. Interesting. All right. Okay. So we've done that. Going back on the encounter, the communication is chosen. Add the creature's intelligence, which is -2, and subtract the absolute value of its aggression. So total of -9. -9. Oh, 1 die. 1 die with -9. I think it's going to be the lowest, isn't it? Not a 4. Well, it's back to paragraph 10. Trying to remember what that was. 10. Right. Creature infuriated by a communication attempt. Determine its aggression rating. We've done that. It's bloody 7. Aggression rate is 4 or less. Determine the creature's speed rating. Aggression is 5 or more. The creature attacks the expedition. This is, I say, one mother fucking bastard. Butterfly. 12 endurance points are lost before the creature flees. No actual combat is conducted and no time is expended. 12 endurance points are lost. Bloody hell. There must have been a swarm of them. Wow. That's really like, hello, little butterfly. They absolutely go 8. Now 12 endurance points is a lot. Um, because I've only got 10 on the 2 characters. Now it does say doesn't say damage points of it. Let me just double check that. Again, that does seem excessive. So I'm going to take that as 12 damage points rather than endurance, because that would kill 2 characters. I'm not going to have that just because it's been attacked by bloody butterflies. So if you don't like that, do apologize, but that does seem very excessive. I know it's die rolls, can't do anything about it, but that does seem illogical. So I've got 12 damage points because it could affect anything. So yeah, which is still a lot to take. Okay. Aaron's son will take 1, 2, 3, 4 points, leaving him with 1. Rika will take 1, 2, 3, 4 points, leaving him with 1. I think they need to get back, don't they? The spaceport, these bloody butterflies got into its networks and so forth and absolutely destroyed it. So it's gone. That's 1 damage point. So I've got 3 more to do. The reason why I'm putting it there, I mean, I can rebuild these robots. I've got 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 on board the ship of any particular type. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. What else? So I've got 3 more damage points to take. I don't really want to take any damage on there or on any of those. So 3 more damage points. How much supply? That's 1 damage point. So we've got 2 left. Okay. Net gun and no, maybe not the turbo laser. Oh, we don't want the E-cage damage because then that creature will escape. Scanner, holographer. Okay. So these creatures just got into everything. So yeah, that was exceedingly bad luck. All right. And the end of the combat. Okay. All we determined from that Ornifly is that it's got an aggression of 7. Yeah. Okay. Well, there we didn't capture or anything like that, did we? So it goes there. Right. I think are very wounded, probably covered in boils and blisters, being stung by, like bees or bee stingers and such forth, in my mind. They go back to the shuttle. I need to put an explored marker. Can we clone this? We can. Boom. There. Be careful. Be wary of dangerous butterflies. Okay, so they get back to the shuttle now. That is classed as it can move 1 hex. I don't have to explore it because it's already explored, and it's not classed as hasty movement. So they just get it. I mean, it does use up some time. The amount of time it uses is using the rover half an hour. So now, okay. So now we're back in that hex. We can do what's called an exploration action. Okay, bring it up. Exploration action. All right. So I can reorganize the expedition or return to the Pandora. Okay, we've got in the ship with us, we have got Scorpius, the medic, who has got the medical kit. So why the hell did I try and communicate with a bloody butterfly? Anyway, no matter. So he's going to try and do some healing. So it says under healer character, the player chooses a character in the expedition that has lost at least one endurance point. Yeah. And expends from 1 to 12 expedition hours in an attempt to regain one of the character's lost endurance points. Okay. So 1 to 12 hours. We are. So we're going to spend 12 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It does that, but anyway. All right. If the die result is less than the number of hours expended, the character gains an endurance point. Erase one mark on the right. If the medical officer is in the expedition and is not being healed, or the med kit is 3 subtracted, so I don't need 12. Okay. If the medical officer and the med kit are present, one die is rolled instead of 2. Right, okay, so I'm gonna spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back. So I spent 6 hours. Okay, so and it says I'll roll one die, and if the medical the die result is less than the number of hours expended, the character gains an endurance points. So I'm going to roll 6-sided dice with a 6, so you automatically gain an endurance point. So I'm going to do the same for Araika. So each one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So Scorpius is very busy patching them up, and they get both back 1 endurance point. So, okay. Right. Okay, so they both recovered 1 endurance point. I'm leaving that they've now got 4 damage each. Okay, I think at that point we're going to return to the Pandora. So if the expedition is in the same hex as the shuttle, which we are, exploration of this environment may be terminated. It is. Scared of blinking dynamic butterflies. All units, creatures, and artifacts that survive the expedition are in the hex are removed from the expedition display. All counters in the environment are removed. All counters on the time and supply track, apart from the tour times, are removed. An explored marker is then placed on the planet on the interstellar display that the expedition is leaving. The shuttle and all aboard are considered to return to the Pandora and then go to paragraph 50. Okay, so I'm going to do that housekeeping now and then show you what happens then. Okay, so it says all surviving characters, bots, tools, captured creatures, and acquired artifacts are safe aboard the Pandora. Onboard actions may be performed. Then conduct interstellar movement, check to see if an interstellar event occurs, and once completed, refer to the planet table. So I've got to choose another planet. I also need to put an explore marker on this planet here to show that I've explored it. Okay. Where did the paragraph go? There it went. Okay, so we're back on board the ship, and then we can do, as it says, onboard actions, which are what? Okay. Okay, so we're back on the ship as derived from there, and the actual actions I can do, I can repair tools and or bots, heal characters, and study creatures. Okay, so tools I've got damaged. Let's just bring this down here. We have got damaged tools in the sense of the net gun and the holographer. Now it says Four damaged tools and bots aboard the Pandora may be repaired, flipped over from their damaged side by expending 1 month of tour time. If the maintenance officer's aboard, all damaged tools and bots may be repaired in 1 month. Okay, so the bot that I lost, that was left on the planet. There's nothing I can do about that. So it's gone. But I have a certain amount of these tools. Of that bot that I lost, I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in storage, but one's gone. But I haven't lost any of the other tools. So those come back, and that takes a month to do. Okay. Now also he'll carry a total of 4 endurance, but okay. If the medical officer is aboard, a total of 6 endurance points may be regained by characters in 1 month. No more than 3 endurance points may be regained by a single character in this month. Okay, so I'm going to repair Riker bot for 3 and Aaron Sun for 3 points each. They're now on 1 damage point each. Okay. Right. I've been using a what do you call it? A non-permanent marker on a display, but the boxes are too small. So I'm gonna change this now to using a pencil. Okay, the other thing we can do is study creatures. The player may determine the rating of any unknown attributes belonging to all captured creatures. So the tortoise thing, the fastito whatever, fastidomite. Okay, the only thing we haven't determined is its intelligence. It has an intelligence rating of 1, modifier of 1. So I'm going to roll the 2 dice and add 1. So roll a 7 becomes an 8 on the, here we go on the charts, on the creature. There we go, an 8. It's actually quite intelligent. 7 plus, I think, it's not a -1. 8, it's an 8. So yeah. An intelligent tortoise. It's just a smart, well, it's more smarter than Aaron. So now we've determined all 4 attributes for that creature. We get 4 victory points for it, 1 for each attribute. Okay, so any other victory points that we are awarded at this point? So we've got 6 for that artifact. Okay, 1 VP is earned for each creature attribute, so we've got 4. +1 for the spike, +1 for the Ornate Fly at the present moment. So that's 1 on each. I'm just adding these to the update chart that I'm now using the old technical pencil. 1 VP is earned for each creature that is captured and returned to the Pandora. So that gives me an additional 1. So it's now 5 for the Fastido. Fastitomite. Artifacts, it gives me 6. Yeah. 1 VP is earned for each planet that is explored. Yeah. Okay. And certain paragraphs give additional. Okay, so we've got 5 for the Fastidomite because we brought it back onto the Pandora and we had determined all its attributes. So that seems to be about the maximum we can get per creature then, doesn't it? If there's 1 per attribute and bringing it back to the ship. So we have 5, 6, 7. The planet itself is 8 plus 6 is 14 victory points at the present moment. Okay, and that's the first 3 months of the expedition. Okay, expedition hours is removed, supplies removed, and that's removed. All removed. Now the accumulated time to do all that is 1 month. Because you take the, is that right? Just double check. Um, exhibition hours, I think it adds it. You don't, right. Prepare tools or boxes for is a month. Heal characters, 1 month. And study creatures is a month. Um, all the preceding actions may be performed simultaneously. Thus, the number of months required to complete the longest action determines how many months the total are spent on all the actions. Okay, so total therefore was only 1 month. And then we've got to determine where we're going to go to next. All right, well, I'm going to leave that until the next episode. So let's just go back to the top and end this episode. Okay, so I changed the wording of that attack by the killer butterflies from endurance points to damage points. Is that cheating? Technically, I suppose. But that would have ended the game pretty much there. I'd have lost 2 characters, lost everything. So yeah, this game can be harsh. And I want to carry on the story. I took the maximum damage I thought reflected what happened. Um, so yeah, at the end of the day, I want to play games and have fun. And I'm not going to let the dice, because the dice just went absolutely bonkers. They didn't even give an aggression of butterflies of 11. I had to justify that in my mind. It was like, okay, they're like, could be like hornets sort of thing. Is in my mind. But we are environmental suits and such forth. So I thought I'll change that to damage points to A, keep the game going. Um, and B, well, yeah, it did stop me carrying on exploring any further, didn't it? Really, I went straight back to the ship and left the planet. So that did curtail anything extra I could have done. So I hope you forgive me. I hope you'll continue watching. It's not, in my mind, it hasn't tarnished it, but maybe in yours it does. I don't know. Um, so yeah, I've got, was it 14 victory points? Was it now? I still need a lot. And I say the next episode, we'll see where we go from there. So if you could do the like, subscribe, and any comments much appreciated. And let me know what you think about the fudge that I did. Is it appropriate, inappropriate? Just let me know. Um, so yeah, until next time though, play games, have fun, bye internet.